It's getting hot in here, and no, it's not just you. Let's talk about the most sought after and popular board games out there right now, according to BoardGameGeek. Number 1, we're gonna talk about what the game is all about, why it's hot, that's the number 2 thing, and number 3, we're gonna rank it, so you know if you should check it out as well. Well then, let's jump into the 12th spot, which goes to Deep Regret. Once again, 3 weeks in running, I think, but this time we actually have it with us. In Deep Regret, we are fishermen fishing monsters. The deeper we go, the cooler monsters we can find, but also they are a lot more dangerous. And this is a push your luck game through and through, because the better monsters we get, the more victory points we will get. But why regret? Because we can collect regret to get stronger during the game, and it has a lot of benefits. But the player who will have the most regrets at the end of the game will have to throw away their strongest monster and lose a lot of points. So you definitely get some, but also might lose some. So be careful. You will roll a bunch of dice and then make a decision. Either go to the shores and sell all your fish, or go deeper into the sea and find monsters. This board game is full of madness, and it depends if you like that, because a lot will depend on luck. Even though we have this game on the table, we just got it, so I haven't yet played it, but I'm super eager to. So first game goes to the table right there in the middle. You know, it's the first one, we don't have any others. Let's move on to the 11th hottest board game, which is Anarchy. Anarchy is continuation of one of my favorite board games of all time, and this time you have a castle. In Anarchies you are trying to get the most victory points, no surprises there, but how you get those victory points, well, that's whole another story. We're in England trying to build up our domain, and we can do it by 2 sheets at a time. Pay resources to fill out fields and then get back more resources or different kinds of resources. And you keep going into this loop of paying out resources, filling out fields, getting other resources, then filling out other fields, like here, until you have scored a lot of victory points, hopefully. But while doing that, you're actually creating spies, building stables and other buildings to protect your settlement as well as attack other settlements. Here you can see a bunch of castles that you can attack. If you get enough resources and good enough army, you can attack it, then gather resources and scavenge those castles, and again, get more and more victory points. It's this engine that you can build in these 2 sheets of papers and feel freaking good about it. This one I actually have played tons of, and I really like it. Let's put it at the top of played section. We have a review about this game, so you can check it out after watching this video, alright? Don't go anywhere. Watch this one, then Anarchy, then all the rest of our reviews, alright? Moving on to the game number 10, which also has been living in the hotness for ever? Let's talk about Arcs. In Arcs, once again, you are trying to get victory points. At this point, I feel like I shouldn't say it for each of the games. Whoever is the first one to get to certain victory points will be the winner. And you can score these victory points by sending out your ships, controlling different territories, playing out cards and a bunch of other things. But the little twist that in certain turns, only few of those things will matter, because you can see right here, there's tons of ways to score victory points, but only few will be active each round. Which ones? Well, you will be fighting for it. First player will play a card, and then other players will have to follow that color and play, hopefully, a higher number. If they can't, they play whatever they want, but they will get less actions. And based on the cards played, then you will be able to move your ships, attack other ships, destroy them, and take them as trophies. One of the really cool selling points of this game is that nothing is safe. You have resources that can be stolen. You have your little meeples that can be taken as captives. You will have cards that can be, well, stolen. So be careful what resources you have. Use them carefully and make sure they are safe from other players. This is a highly interactive game that's based on a simple card play. I have played it a lot, and I like it. We've gotten to the single digits, 9th hottest board game out there right now, The Fate of the Fellowship. Fellow people. Lord of the Rings is the best theme for board games. There, I said it, there's nothing you can do about it. This game answers the question what will happen if you take the very beloved pandemic system, make it more gamery, and add Lord of the Rings on top of it. This is a cooperative game where you play all the good guys from Lord of the Rings series, and you have few tasks, but most important one is taking Frodo and Sam and the ring from Shire all the way to Mount Doom and then throw the ring into the Feya. We have heard the story a million times, but how is this different? You will control 2 characters and each turn you will have to pick which one will do 4 actions and which one will do just 1. And these actions are really simple. You move around, maybe attack the bad guys, muster more armies on your side, and well, bunch of other things. One thing I really love about this game is that yes, you will have your big mission to destroy the ring, but also you will have 3 other ones that you will have to finish before you can actually destroy the ring. And these ones are really thematic. I just love them. So either all players win as a team if they destroy the ring, or they lose as a team if all hope is gone and the bad guys win. And they mostly do that by taking over Middle-earth by force. So you should not only concentrate on the tasks, but also by creating armies and stopping the bad guys from marching. I've recently got it, have played few times already, and just based on the games that I really want to play right now, that's on the top. Let's move on to the 8th spot, which is a game that's not out yet. In Feya Swamp, you're trying to get the most victory points, and you can get those victory points by moving your characters right here to the most advantaged positions. In this game, you will have these lovely ships that you will move around, that will let you move your characters around, fish, do a bunch of different things that all give you resources. Not much is known about this game except that on your turns, move your ships to advantageous positions to fish these fishies and get bunch of other resources to get victory points and then win. It seems pretty cool, but out of these 2 fishing games, I'm right now more interested in playing this one. Even though, what do I know? I haven't played them. Have I played the next game? Let's find out. We are already rushing to number 7, which is the well-known Seti one. Let's go in space and look for some aliens. In Seti, we're launching our probes to orbit around Earth to find out more and more information. We can also then land on different planets to score victory points, and again, we want the most victory points at the end of the game. In this game, we will upgrade our industry with different kind of tiles and technologies. We will scan the universe for information that will give us points, and we will do all of this until we find aliens, which will give us more points! You want points, because then you will win the game. You will do all of these epic things by mainly playing out cards. Because you can use the cards in multiple different ways. You can throw the card away to get some resources. You can tuck it underneath right here under this card to produce more income. You can use it for its effects, or you can use it to generate more victory points later. Multi-use cards always provide you with an amazing choice, and in this game particularly, it feels really nice. This one goes for Giannis. Or not. Right to the top of the list for board games that I'd like to play right now. Let's move on to the next one. We have built up England, we have traveled to space, and now let's go to Japan. Rumble Nation is quite simple area control game. You will be fighting for 11 castles. The more castles you control, the more likely you are to win. And importantly, this is a dice game. Each player will have 3 dice that they will roll, and this will determine where your soldiers will go. You will also use and play out different kind of cards that will move your or opponent's units. For example, this card says that you move 2 other units away, so you could take, for example, these red cubes and then move them somewhere else. And by pushing cubes, you will determine the fate of Japan. Sounds fun? Let's find out how fun it sounds for me. One of the biggest selling points actually is that the complexity level is quite low for this one. But despite that, I feel like I would rather like to play one of these 2. Let's move on to the 5th spot, which goes to Blood Rage Valhalla, which is a standalone game in the Blood Rage series, and all we get for this game is this one image of the Bear Clan. But don't worry, we're professionals here. So we're gonna talk about the Blood Rage so you know what Blood Rage Valhalla is all about. Blood Rage is a super popular game already on the 59th spot on BoardGameGeek, which is essentially area control game. What does area control mean? Well, you have area, you have your minis right here, and the more minis or stronger minis you have, the more you control the said territory, and then you most likely will win. Each player will play a different clan, trying to control more and more territories. Sounds cool? Well, you haven't heard half of it, because this is a card drafting game. You have a bunch of cards in your hand, like this, and then you will choose which one you will keep, give the rest to other players, and then based on the cards that you have picked, you will have options to play them out a bit later and move your units, attack with them, draft smartly so you can adjust to the situation. The original game already had one of the best looking minis in the industry. When I saw these, I was just jealous of the people who painted them. Looks bloody fantastic, and I expect nothing less from the new iteration of Blood Rage Valhalla. Taking already super cool game that is popular, adding Valhalla on top of it. I'm excited. Let's move on to the fourth spot. And talking about popular things, well, let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons, or in this case, builders of the Baldur's Gate. In this game, players will have different agendas that will give them victory points, and you need victory points to win the games. We already talked about it. These agendas might be, for example, hey, you get 2 victory points for each keep that you control. Controlling means that you will have those buildings under your control by having a cube on top of it. For example, yellow player controls this tower. What you will do, and they will come for you, first of all, you will play your little piece as a worker to get different deals done, as well as you will build buildings. You will have building cards, you will have to pay resources for those buildings and then place them. And it's really important what buildings are next to others, because they complement each other and build up. But what do I know? I haven't played it yet. I really want to. So I'll place it right under Valhalla. Moving on to the third spot, which goes to Vantage. Vantage we have already talked about on this channel, but finally people are getting the game in their hands and trying it out. So let's talk about it again. Vantage is a cooperative game where you crash land on an island, but on a separate part of the island. So each player sees a different part of it. Right here you can see this person sees this part and this lady sees this part. You can communicate, but you can never show your cards. So this is a cooperative game, which is also a story game where you try to find out what's in the island. And so what you want to do is communicate with other players, telling what you see, but you can never show them cards or the information you have. So based on this really unique premise, you will play out cards, use those cards to navigate around and find a solution to this really sticky situation. Also, there's gonna be a pretty big storybook with paragraphs, so not only you will have to figure out what's going on, you will also immerse yourselves in an interesting story. Vantage Point, I haven't played it, but I'm really excited to. Between these two, you know what? And from the third spot, let's move on to the first one. What? I'll explain a little bit later, but to talk about the second spot, we first have to talk about who's the winner of this week, and that is Innovation. Innovation is a civilization game in just few cards. You will go through the whole history of humankind, and you will try to achieve different achievements. This is the tableau building game, and what that means is you will have cards that you will play in front of you, right here. And these cards will then boost your civilization in different ways. For example, you can invent gunpowder. Whoopee! And there are 2 editions of this game, that's why there are different pictures. Here is the fresher edition and here is an older one. But the general idea does not change. Here are your cards that you have played in front of you that will boost your civilization. And here are your achievements that you have achieved. I really love civilization games, and this one promises to be played in 20 to 60 minutes. So it goes right here. Vantage stays on top, and Innovation goes to the second spot. And why couldn't we talk about the second spot? Because the second spot goes to Innovation Ultimate, which means it's the same game, only with all the expansions in the world. So what you get is more cards, more ways to build your civilization, and other trickery. The game looks like this. And I mean, it's the same game, so it stays there. Thank you for watching this video. Let us know in the comment section which of these games you would like to table the most. And if you like this video, be sure to check out last month's hottest board games, because we talked about a lot of other games that we really also like or don't like.